Today we're going to be loading up some 124 grain 9mm on the Dillon 550C, and that's coming up next here on Jesse B Outdoors Reloading. Welcome back everybody, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment down below if you like videos like this. So today we're making up 100 rounds of 124 grain 9mm. The reason for this video is I got a bunch of 9mm made up, but it's for videos. I also have a boy that I like shooting with, and I need some extra rounds loaded up so him and I can go fire them. So what I have is my video rounds made up, so now I need to make some plinking rounds for my boy and I. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you guys in, show you what we're using for components, and we're going to load 100 of these bad boys up. So let's go ahead and get started. Now for components today, what we're going to be using is Hodgdon HP38. Everybody knows this is my favorite semi-auto powder. What we're going to do is 4.2 grains of this. Do not use my load data, use your own load data. Get it out of the published book and do a ladder test and work your way up on it. Don't ever go off of anybody's data on the internet. Now we got that disclaimer out there. For primers, this breaks my heart. What we are using is Federal primers. I'm using the last of these. I got 500 of these left that I bought back in 2019 when primers were still cheap. And this is the last of my stash of my cheap primers that we're going to be using. And then for bullets, we're going to use 124 grain full metal jacket Armscor bullets. I picked these up at Republic Ammunition, and I love these for my own plinking rounds and for videos. Today we're going to use them in my boys' plinking rounds. So let's go ahead and get set up and get started. Alright, as always, for the new reloaders here, we're going to run one round through and do our powder check. And I'm going to tell everybody what is going on. So the first one here, we got our sizing decapping die. And that one I'm using is from RCBS. And my little primer catcher here did not fall back. If you guys have a fix for this, let me know. I've tried a couple of things. I've got an issue with it sticking like that. Now we're going to go down. And we're going to put a primer in. So you guys can see right there, we got a primer installed in that now. So now what we're going to do is move it over here to the expanding and powder die. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out and zero out my scale real quick to get our powder charge. And what this does is after you size a bullet or a case, you cannot stick a bullet in this, and that's why we do that. So now that we got that zeroed out, we're going to make sure we are on our powder charge. This is the first time I'm throwing it, so it might be off, but we will see here. I'm looking at 4.2 grains, and we're at 4.4. I'm going to drop that out and do it again. Anytime a powder measure sits and settles, usually it throws high the first couple of times, and then after that it'll be fine. Right now we're on 4.2. I'm going to do one more to verify it. This powder measure has been pretty consistent since I've had this. So I have faith that one more time it'll still be on 4.2, and it is, so we're going to keep rolling. Put my locator pin back in on that. So now you guys can see that down there. Now that is expanded so we can set a bullet on it just like that with no issues. Now I'm going to move it over to the bullet seating and crimp die. This one's a RCBS too, but I only got it set up for seating the bullet. So we'll go up and seat that. And then the last one we got here is my Lee Factory crimp die. We're going to crimp that bullet. Now we're going to kick it out of there. I have got a barrel up here I always use. To double check these, we can see it right down here in the corner. Drop it in. It falls right out. Drop it in. Spin it. That round is perfectly fine, and that'll work on all my guns. So now let's go ahead and get loading here. So basically, like I said, we are doing today is making up some rounds for my boy and I. And I just figured I'd bring you guys along for the ride. Because I know people like watching reloading videos. And that's what I'm doing here. So I figured while I have the joy of making some rounds up for my boy, I'd bring you guys along with. So now we got every station here set up, and we're in full progressive mode, so every time I pull the handle we are going to drop one out. Now, one thing I am noticing here, like I told you guys with that priming system down here, mine is getting stuck. I've tried to modify it a couple of times. Oops, I dropped my case down here. But I've modified it a couple of times and it still ain't working right. And I think the issue might be, if you guys remember, I have that new RCBS Power Punch decapping pin in here. And since I got that, man, that thing just flings the primers out of it. I'm going to double check and make sure I got no powder in here. I can see most of the way down in there from this angle, but I want to double check to make sure. But man, that thing just flings them out of there. So I am getting primers all over the floor. And it's a mixture between that decapping pin working so good and also that my little flap on that is sticking. So if you guys have found a good cure for that, let me know down below. That time it worked. I heard it tink down into it. But I think that's the only issue I've had. I've actually done probably 200, 300, 300 to 400 rounds off camera now on this. And I noticed that since I've done that video with that the capping pin, that Power Punch one, works real well. I haven't had an issue with it at all. Not getting the primer out, but man, it just really flings them out. So what we will do right now is I like doing this sometimes. I am just going to keep quiet so you guys can listen to the machine. That one don't feel like it built right. I'm going to try to guide this one up and see if we can get it to go in. Alright, we got it to go in here. Talking about boys, I just heard the car door. So my boy is home now. So once they get in, I might have to take a break to let him know I'm doing a video, or else he'll just come busting in yelling and screaming. Everybody's got teen boys, they know how that is. But I'll keep rolling here for a minute until they come in. Okay, I'm going to pause it right here and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back now. Just like I thought, they all came running back here. They didn't know I was doing a video. Yeah, primer did go into that. They always come home and run back to see what I'm doing. They had no clue I was doing a video. Making up rounds for him for us to go shoot. Like I always say on this channel, I tried to be a little bit more relaxed than my main channel. I tried to be kind of professional on that channel. This channel, I'm not real professional on it, and as you guys know, there's a lot of stuff I don't edit out on this. A lot of it I want you guys to see just the way it goes sometimes, because reloading is not always fun and peachy all the time. Sometimes there is issues with equipment and issues with other things, and I want to show you guys that just so you don't think, because you watch some of these reloading channels and everything goes nice and smoothly and they act like they never have any issues, but I can tell you right now, they have issues. They just edit it out to make the video look good. I really don't care about that on this channel. If you like this video, leave a comment down below, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give me a thumbs down. I really don't care. This is just me having fun with the viewers that I normally have, talking to, and other YouTube channels that I have fun with. And that's what I care about, is all my YouTube buddies and the viewers who are good and want to learn, want to watch. Really don't care for the trolls and everything. If you want a troll, go ahead. Helps with their algorithm when you leave stupid comments, but it don't faze me one bit. That's why I like it when people leave me thumbs downs and all that. They think it's actually hurting me, but I can really care less about it. And that goes for either channel. I really don't bug me. I've had some really bad ones though on my main channel I have taken off, just because I'm a family guy and you get in the cussing and everything. You guys might have just saw that primer fly out. You get in the cussing and stuff like that, I'm going to delete it and ban you, but besides that, I leave everything. Don't really bug me one bit. But as you guys could tell, if you follow the channel from when I first got this machine to now, I've got it dialed in a little bit better. Actually, I should say I got myself dialed in a little bit better. In case you don't know, for progressive reloading, I came from a lead load master to this Dillon 550C. And it is a bit of a difference because this one you got to manually turn. But I actually think I like that more than the auto indexing. A lot of people are like, man, it's a little bit slower. Yeah, it is a little bit slower, but I'll tell you what, as much as I had to stop working on that lead load master to fix it every time in the middle of reloading, it's actually quicker using my Dillon because I barely ever have an issue with this. Like I said, right now the only issue I have is with the spent primers. And I think I saw somebody find a thin enough finishing nail they stuck in there instead of that cotter pin. That might help with that issue. And then, like I said, I got this power decapping pin in this one. And man, that thing, it just launches primers out sometimes, and they're all not going in my spent primer bin. That can be a bit of a pain of the butt because I actually have carpet in here. And we use this room a lot. And I don't know if you've ever stepped on a spent primer barefooted. It doesn't feel too good. So I'm going to have to clean up my floor after this video. Just right there, I saw the flap open, but it kicked the primer out to my side, and I could see a bunch of primers down at my feet already. And we have barely even got into these. So I'm going to have a lot of primers to pick up. RCBS, if you guys didn't see the video, I think I said it in the video with this power punch. RCBS did send me another decapping pin, the whole assembly, because I bent it. It was totally my fault. I told them that. I just wanted to let them know, and they said, nope, we'll ship you one out, and they did. So truthfully, if this power pin's too much of an issue, I do have a factory one I can stick right back into it. Just have to see what my mood is, because with my muscle disease, it's hard for me to get on my hands and knees anymore to pick stuff up and get back up. So I don't like it when I have to pick them all up. I could use the vacuum, but I don't like getting all the crud in the vacuum when I do that. My fingers stopped working here for a second. But yeah, I don't like doing that. I don't want to get all the crud in our vacuum. So I'm going to go out in the garage one day when I think about it. Oops, that piece of brass is upside down. And see if I can find a small finishing nail and see if I can get that worked. Right now what I did was I cut that cotter pin in half, and I got gun oil on both sides of this. And you can see right now it's flipping, but it don't do it all the time, and it gets stuck. That's the piece I'm talking about right there. Actually, kind of glad I got it in the camera view real quick for you guys to see it. I looked up and was like, oh, you can actually see that on the angle I got right now. But you can see here, once you get going, even though this thing is a manual index, you can get cranking on this. Looks like I might have to do my belling a little bit better. Since these are full metal jackets, I don't have them belling as much as I do with my Caster high-tech bullets or powder-coated bullets. With those, you got to do them a little bit more. That felt like a tight primer. You got to bell them a little bit more so you don't shave the lead on them. So when I do full metal jackets, I try not to bell as much. But it seems like certain cases aren't getting belled as much as others. This is mixed range brass. I forgot to say that at the beginning. Anytime I do handgun rounds, unless I'm doing a ladder test, I try to use all the same. But pretty much all I do is mixed range brass for my handgun rounds. And that's what we're doing today. There's Remington, Winchester, Federal, Brass Tech or Max Tech, whatever that company is, S&B. There's all kinds of different ones in here. I think I got most of the S&B sorted out. They usually have a crimp in them. So I think I got them all sorted out. I might run into a couple more, but I got the crimps cut out of them. Same way back when Walmart had ZQI. One of the last times I bought it, I got my tax returns, and I bought 1,000 rounds of it. So I got a lot of that. I did that before I started reloading, but I saved my brass. So I got a lot of the ZQI. And that stuff is NATO spec. So it's got a military crimp in it. Actually, I just grabbed one right here. The lighting probably ain't good, but you can still kind of see the green sealant from the primer sealant on it. But yeah, I got a bunch of those still. I'm sure I don't have the whole 1,000 rounds anymore. I'm sure some's laying in the ground, stepped into the ground out there that I've missed over the years, because I've had that. Oh man, let's see. I started my YouTube channel, I think in 2018, somewhere in there. And I bought that stuff way before I had my YouTube channel. So yeah, that's some really old brass for me there. I got into shooting, I want to say probably 09. And then I bought my first gun in like 2011, 2012. So just to give you an idea there. So if you're new to the channel and haven't realized by now, a lot of my videos is just me reloading and talking to you. So if you like that kind of content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell if you like all that stuff. But what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to go quiet again so you guys can hear the press run. My fingers don't want to work anymore. Here's another piece of brass. Starting to make me think a brand might be a little bit shorter than the rest of them, so it's not getting belled like the rest. Looking at my primer rod, we are getting down there, so you guys can see it does not take long It'd go even quicker if my fingers weren't bad. It does not take long at all. Then I just crushed the case right there. We'll set that one off to the side. Actually, that one didn't get a primer, so what we're going to do is we're going to stick one in there, make sure we have no powder in this one, and we're all good on that. But you can see, if my fingers would work, it still doesn't take long to knock 100 rounds out on this press, even with a manual index. You can see here any issues that I'm having is me, not the press. And like I said, I expect that when me having bad hands and fingers and stuff like that. But I am absolutely loving this press. So glad I got to purchase this. Got to thank you guys for that, because you guys basically got this for me for Christmas, and I appreciate that. Because I love this thing. Before we get too low here, I want to go over a couple other things I have on here. You can see the Dillon roller handle, and then I have it mounted to an inline fabrication quick mount. And the light I'm using is a KMS squared light, UFO light. I do have a discount for the light down in the description. So while you guys are giving this a thumbs up or down and commenting, make sure you go in the description, because I got some discount codes down there for different bullets, these lights, and a couple other things. And then I got some affiliate accounts down there too. So go ahead and check those out after the video. And the next one we get probably will end up beeping. Called that. So we'll shut this alarm off here. You guys might have saw another primer fly too. Really going to have to get that figured out, because I don't want to keep picking those primers up off the floor. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to slow down a little bit, because I like watching that arm on the bottom to make sure it has a primer in it. And that piece of brass is upside down. Get it in there. But it does not take long at all to crank these out. If I was to get a Dillon progressive, I can tell you right now I would get the 750. I like the simplicity of this priming system, and the 750 has that. Not real impressed with the 650's phone dial primer system. Seen a lot of issues with that, so I see why Dillon upgraded on it. But for this one being the, what I'm going to call the budget one, I didn't look there, but that was the last piece of brass. I have absolutely no issues with it. Now I'm dropping everything. But we will finish these 2 rounds out. And now we'll go back up on top. So as you guys can see here, knocking out 100 rounds on the Dillon 550C is absolutely no problem at all. Easy with me fumbling around with my bad hands, dropping stuff and fumbling things that went pretty quick. You can see it takes no time to knock them out. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. So as always, don't forget to check the links out down below. Down there I'll have links to Axle Hearing Protection, Gators Eyewear, and a bunch of other companies I like dealing with. Some got discount codes to save you guys money. Others are affiliate codes that do help out the channel. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Leave a comment down below. We are one nation under God, and I'll see you all on the next one.